Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tip Tuesday for the second week of Wolfe's English. This week, we're going to be talking about using online resources to study English. So let's just hop right into it. So I know that buying English textbooks and English programs online can be quite expensive for some students. So this week I'm going to be talking to you guys about free online sources that you guys can use to help study English. The first one we're going to talk about is called Breaking News English. I really like this website because it has online articles that are all free and they're all current and up to date, and they usually post a few times during the week, and it's great for you guys to practice your reading comprehension and also stay up to date on current events. So let's just go to the website right now and we'll talk about, if you type into Google, Breaking News English, it'll be this first one that you see. So you're going to click on that, and then you're going to see on the website all the different articles. So if you look, after each article it says the name, the date, and then the level. So some of these articles are considered easy and other ones are considered hard. So if it's your first time reading about current events in English, I suggest that you go with the easy article. If you feel confident in your English skills, you can go with one of the harder articles. So let's just go on to April 19th's lesson. It's $1 billion promised to rebuild Notre Dame. So we're going to click on it. And in the print area, you can see there's a 27-page lesson with 40 exercises. There are 2-page mini lessons. And also there is an all 4 grade reading levels. Usually I will use one of these. I use the 2-page mini lesson just because it's shorter and it's a bit more compact for some students. If you want to do a really deep dive into it and you have a group of friends that you're studying with, you guys can do the 27-page lesson as well, because I think that could be helpful. But just know there's a lot of exercises for you guys to do. There's also listening. You can do North American and British English, listening to the article. You can do 20 questions. There are different speeds of listening to the articles. And then there's also dictation, where you guys can listen to sentences from the article and practice writing them down. There's also a reading area. There is a grammar area for you guys to practice filling in. And then there's spelling, which I usually will use with my younger students, but my adult students, usually they're more interested in learning the grammar and speaking aspects. So they usually focus on the article reading and the listening dictation, and then also the vocabulary. So if you want to, you can also go to the word area, and there are flashcards, there's missing words, there's a crossword, there's a fill in the gap. So there's lots of different exercises for you guys to use and practice on this website. So let's just pop open the mini lesson and take a look at it really quickly. So it's gonna look like this, and you can either click on the picture or you can click download this mini lesson. I usually just click on the picture and it'll open up in the browser. The great thing about this website also is, just like on my website, it's a PDF. So you can open it on your computer, on your tablet, on your smartphone. You can open it on almost any device. So if you're on the bus on a long commute, or you're taking the subway home after a long day of work, you can use this website on your phone and read through the article and do the exercises while you're doing your commute. So the first section is the actual article itself. Usually the writing I skip, or I use it as a discussion question in the group. So this week's writing is it important to preserve historical buildings? So you can either write a persuasive essay about if you agree or you disagree with the idea, or you can have a group discussion if you want to practice your listening and speaking more. At the bottom, these words chatting about, usually these are the new vocabulary words that are from the article. So you can either in your notebook make a list of all these words and write it in your own language, or you can talk in a group about what the words mean in your language. And then if we go back to the top, there's the true and false question. So if you read the sentences, you can either say it's true, yes, or it's not true, false. And all these answers are located in the article. Down below is some vocabulary practice. You have to match the bold words from the article to the words on the right-hand side. And then the last part on the first page is a discussion. You can use all of these different questions about the article, and you can talk in your group. If you don't feel comfortable talking with a group of people, or if you don't have a group of people to talk with, you can do it by yourself, writing it down, and then going back and checking it later, or having a friend check it for you later. On the second page, there's a phrase match. This can be a little bit hard, so if you need to, you can go back to the article and check to see which phrases on the left side match up with the ones on the right side. After the phrase match, there is another group of discussion questions. Usually these questions are more about people's opinions or personal experiences. So like I said before, if you're in a group of people, you guys can have a group conversation using these questions, or if you're too shy or you don't have a group to work with, you can do it by yourself and write it down and have somebody check it for you later. This section is the spelling section, so some people use it and some people skip it. I usually do it with my younger students, but adults usually are quite good at spelling, so most of the time I'll just tell you to skip it. And at the bottom, you can find all of the answers for these ones up here. So this role playing, you can do it in groups or you can do it by yourself. So for example, role A, building restoration. You think it is best to make a donation to building restoration. Tell others 3 reasons why. So this is kind of more of a discussion. Just like the discussion part A and part B, you can use this role playing as another way to practice your speaking, or if you're by yourself or don't have enough confidence to speak yet, you can also do it written down. Last thing is speaking about donations. So you're going to rank these from 1 to 8, the one you think is most important to the one you think is least important. So you're going to put the most important things that you think to donate at the top, and then as you're ranking them, if you have a disagreement, you guys can talk about why you disagree with something. Usually the questions in this are usually a debate format. So this is really good for practicing telling people your opinions. So if you have trouble with expressing yourself in English, this is really great practice for doing that, because you're going to have to think about what you think, why you think it, and then you're going to have to express it in English. At first, this is going to be really, really hard for you guys, but the more and more you practice, the more and more confidence you'll get, and the better you will get at expressing yourself in English. A lot of people get stressed out when they have to answer questions on the spot or right at that moment. If you have a group of people you're studying with, you guys can talk about assigning the article before you guys have your meeting. So let's say you do your meeting on Thursday, you can tell everybody on Monday or Tuesday, this is the article we're going to be discussing, and take a look at the questions, and if you want to, you can write down your ideas, or you can think about it before we have our meeting. That way, you guys have a little bit of time to think about your opinion, and also if you don't know a word, you can look it up at that time before your lesson. This was just the first tip on a series of online resources you guys can use. So over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to be showing you guys more online resources you guys can use for studying English. So I hope this was a very useful tip for you guys this week. If you guys like this video, please share it with your friends and like and subscribe to the channel. Down below will be a link to the Wolfe's English blog where you guys can download a worksheet about how I use this website, Breaking News English, to study English with my students. Also down below is a link to my Wolfe's Instagram page where if you guys follow, you can get more quizzes and stories and resources for practicing your English. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can post them down below and I will try to get back to as many of you as possible. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and I will see you next time. Bye!